This is a View from the Bridge, official podcast of the Belfast Giants for kingdomofthegiants.com. Today's Tuesday, the 2nd of September, 2025. My name is Patrick Smith. I'm joined by the Belfast Giants statistician, Mr. David McGimsey, and the local ice hockey legend over there, that is Mr. Simon Kitchen. And through the next hour, maybe less, we'll be talking about all the news and views of the Belfast Giants over the last week and a lot more beside. We're live, we're on demand and on YouTube, X, Facebook, and you can listen to us through all the really good podcast providers. If you're listening live on any of the platforms, get involved, send us a comment in the chat box, or even give us a like or subscribe. Thank you to everybody who's given any reviews. If you got time, just give us like a review on Apple or Spotify or on YouTube, please do. It helps us a lot with what we're doing here on this week's show. Two hard-fought games for the Belfast Giants in the Champions Hockey League, yet the point that comes from it doesn't tell the whole story. We'll discuss that. Alexis Gravel had a great night on Thursday, and he's joined us for the first time to discuss how he's settling in, and we'll be looking ahead, of course, to a great trip to Switzerland that is just on our doorstep. Mr. McGimsey, how are you?
Good evening, Patrick. I'm very well, thank you.
Are you travelling?
I'm going to Switzerland, yes.
Switzerland.
I'm going to get myself a Toblerone from Source.
Bring us back a cuckoo clock. Says, are you going?
Yes, sir.
I'm the only one being left out here, boys.
Well, you know where it is.
I do know where it is, mate. If I had the money that you boys have, maybe I'd put my hand in my pocket and fly it out. You know what I mean?
I don't know what Davy mind is. It's not cheap going to Switzerland. I was looking at the one in October as well, but I just couldn't afford it, to be honest.
But just like not blaming my kids, but my kids do too many things. You know what I mean? They do too many things. You know what I mean? 30 quid for netball. Seriously? A month? Seriously? You know what I mean?
What's Declan doing, mate? You need to sort that
out. They're an expensive little hobby, the kids, but listen, the trip to Switzerland's on the credit card, mate. It's on the never. So
it's on the never. You'll get there. You'll get there eventually. But yeah, well, listen, we'll get to all that in just a short while. We will get to the games, of course. But as we promised last week, we're going to start this with another adventure in Wee Giants Corner.
Hi, I'm Max Mason. This is Wee Giants Corner, and today I've got Taff.
Hi, I'm Taff for the Belfast Giants, equipment manager.
Question number 1, how tall are you?
5'10".
Question number 2, if you had to play another sport, what would it be?
Rugby.
Question number 3, who's your favourite hockey player growing up?
Favourite hockey player growing up? Tough one now. Jason Ruff.
Question number 4, what's your favourite hockey memory?
Favourite hockey memory? Well, winning the treble with the Belfast Giants.
Question number 5, why do you wear your number? Or what number did you wear when you were playing?
20.
Why did you wear it?
Because I was born on the 20th. My house number was number 20.
Now, question number 6, what's your favourite pre-game meal?
Favourite pre-game meal? Chicken palm.
Question number 7, who do you think would survive the longest on a zombie apocalypse in the team?
Ben Lake.
Question number 8, what's your favourite sweets?
Favourite sweets? Tough one now. Cola cubes.
Question number 9, is there anything you can't get here that you miss?
Welsh cakes.
Question number 10, coolest goal you've ever seen?
Coolest goal I've ever seen? The coolest goal I've ever seen was Team Canada against Slovakia in Kozic, and they had like 30 seconds to score, and Mark Stone just made an unbelievable pass and they scored to win the game.
Question number 11, what's the most satisfying hockey sound?
The most satisfying hockey sound? When everyone's gone home.
Question number 12, if you swap places with a goalie for a day, would you?
Yeah.
The most satisfying hockey sound is when everybody's going home. Nice one, Taff. I think you attest to that as well, Davey.
No, that's Taff, all right. But he is a hard working guy, which like a lot of people down there are. But yes, there's something quite nice about the rink when there's nobody else there. It's a peaceful silence, like.
But big thanks to Max. That's another great one in the bag for Wee Giants Corner. Enjoying those, sis?
You know what? And again, just to reiterate, he did it all himself. The only thing that I did was hold the camera or the phone. All the questions are his. He picked the people he wanted to interview, and I think he's done a brilliant job for sure.
Yeah, more of those to come. Right, gents, let's get stuck into these two games that happened just over the last few days with regards to the Champions Hockey League. Unfortunately, 2 defeats, but very, very different games. A 3-2 defeat in overtime over a Kalpa Kuopio, and then a 7-4 defeat in regulation over Tampere. Let's get stuck in. Now, what I'm going to say is the last time we covered the CHL and I started putting highlights up on the screen, the people who were watching on YouTube all of a sudden said that they can't see us anymore. I tried testing it out earlier on today. It worked. So let's see if it works now with me putting the highlights back on the screen while we're talking about it. And anybody in the comments, if we disappear, no messing about and saying we're disappear. I'll check it. But if we do disappear, then people will let us know. But it was a big. Let's start off. Sorry if I share this. I'll start with you, Davy. We'll start talking about the first game against Kalpa Kuopio, where the Belfast Giants scored early. Yes, it was made 1-1 soon after that, but it was a great early sort of push from the Belfast Giants.
Yeah, listen, we talk often about starting on time, and I thought we really did start well on it was Thursday night. No, wasn't it Thursday night?
Thursday night.
A really good start. Obviously, getting the early goal from Grasso was a big advantage to us. They obviously came back, got a quick one. I thought there was a good shout for a penalty shot on Goody early in the piece as well. But I thought this will be one we'll maybe look back on with a little bit of one that got away. I think the domination that we had in that second period, if we maybe got another goal in the second to make it 3-1, we might well have went on to make it more comprehensive. Unfortunately, that's the old panic tactics, as someone once called it, of plugging the goalie towards the end there, and getting the extra man 6-on-5 was just got us. And then I actually felt that the new rule in overtime probably went against us, because we probably roll back out on a normal night there. There wasn't really an opportunity to drive in, and we'd probably roll back around, get a control breakout or whatever. But we punch into the gap there looking for a play, and unfortunately we get turned over, and the 3-on-1 coming the other way, and we'll come up with get the point in overtime. But there could have been more. I felt that on the Thursday night, probably felt we deserved a little more out of the game.
The goals coming for the Belfast Giants from Patrick Grasso and Ryan Smith, from Kalpa Kuopio coming from Resnin Mayanpa, for that, and Patrick Curry getting the overtime winner. And says, the fact that Ryan Smith gets that go-ahead goal, as Davey said, they pull their goalie and they get it. We are 63 seconds away from a regulation home win against the champions.
Listen, I thought we were excellent on Thursday night. I rang David to speak to him on Thursday night on the way home, and he didn't answer the phone. Made some lame excuse about having to do a bit of work at 11:30 at night. I mean, come on. I thought we played really, really well. It was disappointing. The boys worked so hard. You keep forgetting that a lot of people didn't realize that we're down 4 guys. You're missing Sam Jones, you're missing Josh Rhodes, you're missing Brandon Whistle and Reed Irwin. And, you play, Adam played the kids. Carter Hamill got ice time, and Kel Beatty got ice time, and Rhodes, Mitchell King got ice time. And, we like the top 4 defensemen, Bastian Road, Bo Hansen, Mike Lee, and McFadden. They all must have played at least 32, 33 minutes each. And it's tough. And Alex was really good in that, give us an opportunity to win. And that conceding that goal with, make no mistake about it, they are a really, really good team. But we skated with them. I don't think we looked out of place the whole game. And they score with 63 seconds to go, and it sort of just knocks a wee bit of wind out of your sails. And then obviously they get a chance at 2-on-1 in overtime, and managed to slot it past Alex. And everybody to a man was absolutely raging with the game. I mean, it's one of those ones where when they came into the food room after the game, you're some people, were sometimes laughing and joking and what have you, but everybody felt it, everyone. And they all felt that they should have maybe closed the game out, and they were all disappointed with that. And that attitude showed to me that, that this is a good bunch of lads, and they care about what we're trying to do. And we as Davey said, we had opportunities to go further ahead, and if we had got that extra goal, I think we would have, we maybe could have been able to basically hold on. But Calpa were really, really good. But so were we, and as I say, we did not look out of place, and it's one that you'd love to have back, but unfortunately, we only picked up the 1 point against the Finnish champions.
You kind of answered the two questions I was going to throw back at you. Says there just from what I was saying, we skated with these guys. This is one of the top teams in Europe, and we weren't overawed by them at all. And if I know it's a defeat ultimately, but like I really thought we deserved something more out of the game.
100%. I think so. It's it was disappointing not to get the 2 or the 3 points. They had a couple of really big chances on the power play. I just thought that you sort of when you're that many. I mean, the amount of guys that are playing that many minutes in the first meaningful game of the season, you sort of think that you might tire out. We didn't tire out in that game at all. Everybody put their body on the line. There was Alex had a really good set of guys in front of him who were blocking shots and working their tail off to try and make sure to keep them to the outside. And for the majority of that time, I thought we did. And they had a couple of really, really good looks, and Alex came off there. I mean, there was one really brilliant glove save in the second period, and there was so many positives to take from that game to lead into Saturday. That again, you're thinking Saturday, you've got Tampere coming in here who had a really brilliant result in Ingolstadt, I think it was.
Yeah.
They beat them over there, and so they're coming in to Belfast to try and obviously get a win as well, and it was just, as I say, just a little bit out of our reach and a little bit of puck luck. You would have been flying, but it was disappointing to only get 1 point, but a real character performance. I thought we did very, very well against a really, really good team.
And just to come back, Davey, on the point that Sis made there about the likes of Kell, about the likes of Rouge Mitchell-King, and of course, we have our good friend Anthony Russell watching in, saying about playing the British players and whatever. But those lads got about 7-8 minutes of ice time in a big game, and they performed. Really did.
Yeah, and that's not a surprise. It'll not be a surprise to Simon, who sees a lot more of them on the ice than we perhaps do. But they're all talented lads, and it's about whenever an opportunity comes along, taking that opportunity, because opportunities in this league are few and far between. I know what Anthony's saying, believe in them, put them in there, but coaches' jobs on the line, players' jobs, I know where he's coming from on it, and I know that these guys are probably busting to be playing a regular shift in the IHL and the Champions League, and Jeff Mason, George Wada and stuff, whenever they're on, they talk about that next up mentality. When somebody gets hurt, that's when opportunities come along. When you're full-bodied and you've got the roster that the coaches prepared over the summer, that these guys probably aren't going to get as much ice time. That's why they're on 2-way deals with NI teams. So, I understand where Anthony's coming from, and they've acquitted themselves and done really well, and we're really proud of them. But Sis can maybe go on and flesh that out.
Again, look, they got an opportunity and they took it, and Adam wasn't disappointed with their effort and just keeping things simple. You're out there for potentially 20, 25 seconds just to give the other guys a little bit of a breather. I still believe that there's a lot of development needs done with those kids. We'll call them kids. They're 21 years of age now, but there's still a lot of development needs done with them to get a regular spot in any elite league team, but especially the likes of the Belfast Giants or maybe even the Sheffield Steelers, Cardiff Devils, Nottingham Panthers, who have those 4 lines. But that you basically need in this league to be competitive, and while Kel, Carter, and Rhodes did really well on Thursday night, when you're coming to the elite league, it's a different game. It's a bit more robust and a bit more physical, and that's when they really need to keep their head up. And the CHL, it's not that it's not physical, but it's more. Like playing against those Finnish teams is a bit more technical, and those guys can really skate. But so can Kel Beatty. I thought Kel did really well defensively, and his skating is one of his biggest attributes. We Carter Hamill, he's got the balls of a guy at 6'5", for God's sake, and he doesn't mind getting stuck in and throwing his body about. And I say Rose Mitchell King does just to keep it simple, and it's good for us to be able to give them that opportunity. But if they had a fully fit squad, they wouldn't have got a look in. So they're taking the opportunity when it comes along, and we'll see what happens in Switzerland, because right now again numbers are low.
As I say, 3-2. It was a 3-2 defeat for the Belfast Giants in overtime. We do take a point from that game, and what we're going to do now is we'll come to the other game in just a bit. But we've been talking about him there. We've been talking about the game there, and let's welcome in the brand new goalkeeper. One of the brand new goalkeepers for the Belfast Giants, the guy who played on Thursday night. That is Alex Gravel. How you doing, mate?
Hey, thank you for having me.
Turn your phone 90 degrees.
Like this?
Should fix. There we go. That fits in perfectly. So you've heard us talking about the game from our perspective. You're a man who was on the ice for the game. What's your perspective on it?
It was a great experience. Obviously, CHL, it's a high pace. I haven't seen what our league looks like, but it reminded me a little bit of the DEL. I had the chance to finish the season over there last year, and it's a high pace, quick plays. Guys are pretty good, pretty fast, and it was good. Our team looked pretty good out there. CHL, it's the best of the best. So it was great to have the chance to compete against those guys, but we want more. We're not satisfied. I'm not satisfied. I got to get the extra save, to win the game. And we have our mindset going to Switzerland that we got to get points if we want to make it through.
What was it about that game in particular you think that pushed them past us? Obviously, when they pull that extra man, when they pull the goalkeeper for the extra man, we're up against it there. But it must be a little bit frustrating being 63 seconds from victory and only just to get that 1 point.
No, for sure. I mean, we were playing really good, and then the 6-on-5. It's not something we're used to. We don't practice that much. It's rare that it happens, but it does. And I got the shot on net. The puck was in my glove, but it came out. If I would have controlled my rebound better, we would have maybe won. But hockey, it's weird bounce. You need some puck luck, and then the puck came out, and then they tapped it in. So it's obviously frustrating. We thought we deserved more, obviously, but it was still a huge point. We got to take every point we can. But like I said earlier, if we want to make it through, we got to start winning games and find a way.
Yeah, and Alex, your first experience of the Belfast crowd on a Thursday night in August, it's quite strange. We start very early here, but a little word for the crowd on Thursday night.
It was great. It was good to see so many people, and they were into it. So it was pretty nice to have people coming and cheering for us and believing in us. And it's a great experience so far.
And talking of the experience so far, how's Belfast been for you?
It's nice. It reminds me a little bit where I played Major Junior back home in Canada. It reminds me of Halifax. It's on a harbor a little bit and by the water. And I find it's really, really similar. I was quite shocked when I came here. And it's funny because Nicholas Gay told me the same thing. So.
Simon frozen. Is he still there? No, he's there. You there, Simon?
Can you hear me all right? Because mine's but can you hear me? It's buffering.
Yep, we can hear you now. Go for it.
Right. Okay. Sorry, Alex. You're and I know one of your favorite pastimes when you're not skating is fishing. And there's quite a few places in Belfast and Northern Ireland that you can fish. And you sent me this literally, I think it was the fourth night that you were here. Want to talk us through that?
That's an absolute belter. Look at that.
Yeah, it was actually my record for pike. I fished pike back home, but where I fished are a little smaller. So it was great to come out here and grab that monster.
Was that here? Wow.
Yeah, it's here.
That's in the waterworks, Polly.
Yeah. In the waterworks. Wow.
I'm not joking. If you look behind him.
Yeah.
That's the Antrim Road Police Station.
Yeah.
You can't my spots, Kishi. I gotta keep that for me, you know.
No, you work away, mate. I honestly never knew that you could actually fish there. I didn't have a clue. But
Yeah.
when you sent me that, I actually thought he photoshopped it, to be honest.
No, I didn't.
That's insane.
My Photoshop skills aren't that good, unfortunately.
Obviously you're looking forward to this weekend. We've got 2 big games in Switzerland. As you said, it's, first up's Lausanne, a really, really historic franchise. They're going to be a really good team, and the boys are obviously working their tail off to try and get ready for Friday. My apologies. But how's the practice going this week with first day back on the ice after the weekend?
I had good practice, so I was pretty happy. I'm excited to go to Lausanne because I don't know if you knew this, but their goalie coach is Cristobal Huet, and he played with my dad on the French national team, and he was kind of my hero growing up because when I was a kid, he was for Montreal Canadiens. So it's kind of cool that we get to play his team, and I get to go and hopefully I can shake his hand. But it'd be nice to see him. When I was a kid, he gave us tickets to go see him with the Montreal Canadiens. So hockey's a small world, but it'll be exciting to be in Lausanne. And, they're probably going to be hungry for games too. They lost both their games. So it'll be a good battle out there.
You mentioned your dad there, and that was going to be my next question. He had one hell of a career, not just with what he got in North America, but then he was in Angers, he was in France, he bit in Germany. He played for Eisbären Berlin at one point, and then you saw through at Asiago. He must be a real like mentor to you in your career as a goalkeeper.
Of course, as soon as I got it to playing, he taught me everything. So. It's great to have him by my side whenever I need a question or anything. I can see with him. It's nothing better than a guy that's been through it. And it's great to have him. He's been helping me so much, and I'm really lucky to have him.
You went to the same university as well?
Yeah, we actually went to the same school, so that was pretty cool. And it's happened that way. We didn't mean to. It just happened that the opportunity was there, and he was an alumni, so that was pretty cool. And then I had great success over at that school, so I love my time over there.
Fantastic. Well, listen, we really do appreciate you coming on. Obviously, you've got a hell of a weekend ahead of you. Good luck with that, and no doubt we'll chat to you again as the season goes on.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. It was quite a pleasure.
Big thanks once again to Alexis Gravel for coming on and joining us. There's another guy waiting in the background. Boys, should we invite him in?
Go for it.
Please welcome back to A View from the Bridge, no friend of ours, return to the Belfast Giants. It's Bo Hansen. How you doing, mate?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Doing really well, buddy. Doing really well. We had Alexi on there just talking about the weekend. I talked about the game on Thursday. We're going to go on to talk about the second game after we chat with you. But when you look back at that CHL experience and the 2 games that we played thus far, give us your take.
Yeah, and I think they're both really strong teams. I think there's a lot to learn from both of those games where we definitely need to up our pace a bit, up our I wouldn't say our intensity, like our intensity is there, but the way those guys play the game is at a little bit of a higher level. And if we can take the way those CHL teams play into our domestic league, hopefully that can lead to some success again there.
Did it shock you at any point, like the speed that they came at you? Were you expecting exactly what you got on those two facing in those 2 games?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we were shocked. We knew they were going to be good teams, good skating teams, and be able to make plays and stuff. And we kept our own with them. We punched back when they punched us. It just sucks that we ran out of steam a little bit there against Ilves. But they're a good hockey team. But that's hockey too. Like a team that gets down in the third period, they got to push for some offense, and Ilves caught us when we had to push back.
Well, Bo, it's lovely to have you back again for another year, my man. But was your summer as quick as ours felt like?
Oh, it flew by, Davey. It's good to see you guys again too. But man, I could have used a couple more weeks in the Colorado sun and in the mountains out there. Yeah,
what did you get up to in the off season? Apart from staying fit, obviously.
Yeah, well, I gotta get in the gym as much as I can.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good summer. Got golfing a bit, hiked a few times. That's how I like to spend my summer, is outdoors as much as I can. And, I spent probably too much time inside a gym or inside a hockey rink, but it's all part of it. It's fun.
So Sleeve Donard was wee buns for you then when you came over?
Oh man, I got beat by Gaudette this year going up the hill. Last year I smoked everybody. This year me, Jake and Collins, I should say, we were pushing the pace. And Jake took off. He had the breakaway speed and got me on the last stretch. So I'll have to do some training for the next time.
Bo, I want to talk to you about the game on Saturday. It was, you sort of pissed them off a wee bit when you got the fourth goal, you 4-3 ahead. And then I don't know, from me watching, in the crowd, it just seemed that they sort of did get a wee bit annoyed about going down 4-3, and then they really stepped it up. That outfit, I think that's probably the best team that we faced in at least 10 years. And it just seemed that they had that extra gear. And I'm taking nothing away from our performance, because, I mean, yourself and Basti and Mike Lee and Garrett McFadden must have played at least, 28 to 30 minutes each both nights, because we were really under the cosh.
Yeah, Elvis was a really good team, and not to take anything away from Calpaw either, but it felt like Elvis had another sort of gear in terms of like their skill and their ability to make some plays. We were definitely chasing that game a little bit more than I'd like to. But I think we talked with Kiefer again today. Like, we did some video this morning in practice. And it's like, that's how we want to play too, is like, we want the puck the whole time. And it sucks when another team has the puck the whole time and we're chasing the game and you get fatigued playing defense the whole time. And then when you're tired, like, it's easy for the other team to play offense against you. And that's, that was the story of kind of that game. But like, they had a really good first period. I thought our second period was pretty good. Like, we pushed back a bit. And then in the third, honestly, for the first 5 minutes there, we took a lead, right? And like you said, I don't know if we pissed them off, so to speak, but they definitely cranked it up another notch. And yeah, man, they're a good team. I'm excited for what Switzerland has to offer. I know those are going to be good teams as well too. But I think we can only get better, and hopefully we can learn from it. Because like we took Calpaw to OT, we had a lead in the third period on Ilves, and if that's not something you can build on as a team, like, I don't know what is. It's only up.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I think that we look at you always try and take the positives out of every game, and even though it was 2 defeats, there was a hell of a lot of positives from both those performances. For sure. I thought guys stepped up. I heard you guys talk about the young bucks when I was joining the lobby here. And head credit to those guys too, and Davy Phillips. It was awesome to, like, those guys took some weight off of us. Like, yeah, we're a little bit hurt right now, and yeah, we played a bunch of minutes on the back end there, but it's fun too. But man, I thought Kell was great. I thought Rhodesy was great. I thought Davy was great back there. Anytime they went out there, they knew what kind of role they had to do to get to survive. And I thought they played as well as they could have. I'm looking forward. Sorry, Paddy. Looking forward to the Swiss trip, Lausanne and Zug. I mean, Adam sent me through the scouting report for both. And when you look at them and you look at the experience that's on both those rosters, it's another challenge. It's one of those opportunities that, when we got the draw here back in June, you're sitting thinking, oh, this is going to be a really, really tough group. But we do have a chance. We proved that we're a good team, and again, just limit if we can limit the mistakes that are happening later on in the game, it's going to be a really, really good weekend against Lausanne and Zug.
Absolutely, and it's the beginning of the season for us too, just like any other team as well. Like, there's going to be growing pains a little bit and figuring out how we want to play, how our system fits with the new guys and stuff. And I thought everybody's done a great job so far. Getting engaged and learning that as well. But that's not to take anything away from, like, we're playing some really good teams to start the year. And that might discourage, I think, maybe some other teams and stuff. And like, I know when I played in Denmark, I played in the Champions League as well. And it definitely kind of like shocked me at how kind of poor we did in that. Like, I don't think we won a game. We took Tampere to overtime, and we played some good teams too. We played 2 SHL teams as well. And it's a challenge, being in this league, but it's a now that this is my second time being in this tournament, you kind of realize what a privilege it is too. Like I didn't get to win with Denmark or with my Aalborg team to get into it. I won with Belfast to get into the Champions League, and it's an honor to be in it, and it's a fun challenge, and it's a great challenge to grow, and it's a great challenge to get better at too.
That's really interesting, because like the amount of times we've talked to players in the past, like of Tyler Beskorowany or so, that are guys who have helped the team win the league and thus get into the Champions Hockey League, but then have moved on to another location. They've moved on to play somewhere else and they never got the opportunity. Whereas having the opportunity to come back and sort of this is the fruit of what you achieved last season. You put the effort in last season to win the league and all the plaudits that come with that. But then to be able to come back and be in this competition because you know the effort you put in last season to do it must be very fruitful to you.
Yeah, and it's like whether you win, lose, or draw, like it's an awesome challenge, and it's fun too. Like I'm looking forward to getting to go to Switzerland to see some of these cities too. It's more than just hockey too, right? Like I think I talked about it a bit last year when I get on. Like there's more to life than hockey too. Like I'm very serious about hockey, and you guys know as well. Like I take care of myself. I try to eat the right way and stuff too. But it's like you got to have fun too, and I'm looking forward to like a bucket list trip of mine is to go to Switzerland. I'm hoping I get a little bit to go sightseeing in some of these cities if we have a minute for dinner or something, but it's cool. And it's like you said, you get to reap the rewards of playing the best teams in Europe when you're a champion of your league. So it's pretty cool.
And that's it. When you've got the talent, you've got the ability, and you've got the opportunity to come to Europe and play, then why not make the most of it? I guess that's a great way to look at it. Before we let you go, and I don't know whether YouTube are going to cut us off of this, I can't let you go without having a bit of a word about this goal. Let's have a look. Talk us through it here.
Oh, nice. I kind of before the draw too. We were just talking about let's get a puck to the net. Let's funnel it or let's just try to create some chaos and stuff. And Longer does a great job winning the draw here. I saw it a little space, getting that puck and just laid into a slap shot and lucky enough snuck by the goalie somehow.
Brilliant. Exactly. We're going
Absolute
to go on to talk
cannon.
about. It's absolutely
Thanks, Sketchy.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful goal. Bo, listen, really appreciate you coming on and joining us once again. Good to see you. Good to have you back, and enjoy Switzerland.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Big thanks, as always, to Bo Hansen for coming on and joining us. He's mentioned the game there, boys. Let's have a chat about it. It was the game that ended up 7-4 to Ilves Tampere, and once again, yes, they went ahead, and I'll bring the highlights up here. I'll start with you, Says, but the Giants once again dug in hard, led the game. Listen, it's ended up 7-4, but we've just seen Bo's goal for Nicholas Guy, and 2 goals for David Goodwin. But up until let's say those last 5 minutes or so, this was the Giants at their best.
Yeah, 50 minutes we played really, really well. And then, they tie things up. They make it 4-4. Bo gets that go-ahead goal, obviously, to just nudge ahead 4-3. And then again, when you just knew that they had another gear. I said it when I was talking to Alex there. I just thought that they're the best team that I've seen us play in a long, long time. They just if you go back and watch the whole game, even in the first period, they were making us doing so much skating that you didn't even realize what they were doing. They're little drop pass in their own zone from D to D, and the wingers coming low to pick a puck up, and then there's another drop pass. And every time you're pushing somebody forward, that's taking the energy out of you. They're just so good at it, and they just they just knew how to make us work really, really hard for anything that we were going to try and get. But when you get the opportunities and they're coming along, and obviously that was a big goal there by Nick Gay to tie things up and just go to the net, you get rewarded. It's we scored a couple of really nice goals, but then they go straight up the other end and they get a goal to make it 2-1, and it was really annoying that they just seemed to have our number, and we probably switched off a little bit. You're sort of puck watching. At that time when they get that goal, and then again we go down the other end and tie it up. So I thought we were really, really good. I thought we played and controlled the game at times as well. But even on that power play, I was standing right behind that when he took that shot. And I mean, you couldn't have put it any tighter to that post if you'd have walked over and just set it in the top corner. But the control that they had on that power play of knocking the puck around from the two guys in the bottom end, throwing it at the top, just making us move and taking the energy out of us. They were really, really, really top team, and it's as you say, Paddy, it's disappointing to lose 7-4. It's short of they got 4 goals in, I think it was 5 minutes, and that really just blew the wind right out of our sails. But a performance again up to that point to be proud of, especially on the Thursday, coming off the back of the Thursday night game as well. But I just thought they even watching this here, it's those little drop passes, and they could move as well. When they got the opportunity, they took the ice and they really did play well.
That's that's an absolute stonker of a goal, Davy, and that shows exactly sort of the level that we're up against in this game. I thought Jackson had a great game. You're up against some great firepower in Ilves Tampere, and I thought Jackson stood up well.
Yeah, listen, I was working on Thursday night when Says phone trying to pay for the Switzerland trip. So, but we got our 25-minute debrief yesterday about the games, and we kind of agreed about the level that they played at, or they could play at. Very, very limited with the amount of shots. They were waiting for great A's before they were pulling the trigger, and they obviously an outlandish 5 minutes towards the end of the game there, where they just blew from 4-3 down to 7-4 up in the blink of an eye. But talking to Says yesterday, and comparisons of one of the Soviet teams or something from the 90s, just drop pass, and
smooth
they were circulating that ice as a 5, and they were layered up. They were so good in every aspect of the game, and we lived with them for 50 plus minutes of the game. Did ourselves again. So many positives to take from the game without trying to be condescending to anyone. I think we were outstanding, and maybe the lack of numbers caught up with us just towards the end of the third period. A really, really proud performance from a great crowd in Belfast. It was mentioned on more than one occasion by their head coach.
Well, that was going to be the next question to you, Says, and you brought this up on our WhatsApp and things like that, and you've seen what was said by the head coach about the atmosphere. And of course, a coach is going to come in here and is going to say kind things, but it seems that this was quite sincere.
Yeah, and it's look, we look after teams when they come to Belfast, no matter if it's CHL or EIHL. We try and make sure that they enjoy our building. Not too much. We obviously want to get the win, but again, he said in his interview after the game and that how that they really had to dial in mentally as well. When you look at the Finnish teams, and if you watch their home games for the CHL, especially in the group stages, they're getting nowhere near this type of crowd. They're probably only getting 2,000 or 3,000. That on Saturday night it was close to 6,000 people in the building. It might even been more than 6,000, but you're getting that many people coming through the door to really, basically make a bit of noise. I thought our fans were brilliant on Saturday night. I thought they were good on Thursday night as well. But Saturday night, when you've got that many people in the building, and you're putting the performance in for 50 minutes to get exactly what you deserved at that point. But I thought that again that the fans were brilliant, and I think he was absolutely right in what he said, and but make no mistake about it. That Tampere team are a really, really good outfit, and I expect them to do this championship.
I think you're absolutely right, mate. I think they are going to take this Champions Hockey League by storm, as they've done in previous years. I think it's been, they've always been flying really, really high. On that, so it was a 7-4 defeat for the Belfast Giants. They take 1 point away from the weekend, Davy. Obviously, last season we won all our home games, blah blah blah. But you've got to look at a point. What could have been 2, but a point away from home games. It's more about what we've talked about how strong we've skated. It's all about how good we can be as a team, that we can draw loads of positives, and the point is superfluous, I guess.
Yeah, and we've another 4 games, another 12 points still out there to be going and get. Listen, Switzerland will be a difficult place to go. Simon's talking about Lausanne, Story franchise into Zug. These teams are in the Champions League for a reason. What is it? The top 24, top 30, 24 teams? Some of the very elite teams in Europe, and we can count ourselves amongst them. And we should be proud of the fact that, we had to win our own domestic competition, beat off all the other competition to get into it. So, we're the boys that deserve to be there. And, we're representing ourselves here in our great city. And hopefully we'll go on to a good job in Switzerland over the next few days.
The two games that are taking place in Switzerland, Belfast Giants will fight on against Lausanne on Friday at 5 p.m. and then go on to face EV Zug on Sunday at 1 p.m. If you're not one of the lucky ones making that trip over to Switzerland to watch the Giants, you can get those games on AVFTB. And the details are on our socials and various other places, but that's where all the coverage of this year's Champions Hockey League will be. Couple of things about these teams, and you look at like a team like Zug, Thomas Tatar, formerly of the Detroit Red Wings, Davy, these guys, we joked about these teams loading up because they're going up against the world famous Belfast Giants, but both teams are stacked, both of them, and you look at like former NHLers in both teams. Yeah,
but we have a very good team too.
But are you looking forward to seeing them? That's what I mean. Are you looking forward to
seeing my own team? I don't really care about the opposition that much, man. I'm not there to watch them.
Simon, help me out here.
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to making the trip. It's going to be a tough ask. I mean, arguably the Swiss teams are better than the Finnish teams. They've got, they're loaded with fire. You mentioned Thomas Tatar there. You've got Dominik Kulabik on the same line as him over the last couple of games, and defensively are very strong. The Swiss international outfit are a really, really strong team, and there's quite a few internationals on this roster as well. But as I said before, they all tie their laces the same way. Get out, put the effort in, and we'll see what we can do. And I expect the boys to turn up and take one game at a time and one period at a time, and hopefully put a performance in like both they did last weekend.
It's one of those, and I agree with with Anthony Russell there in regards to puncher's chance. But if you go out and perform as you can perform, you can take these. Well, listen, we've gone to Switzerland before and taken a win. Davos went down. We took them. We took Davos. Don't forget that. Yes, it may have been 20 odd years ago, but we took Davos down, the great Davos. But yeah, I say those two games will take place on Friday at 5 p.m. on against Lausanne, and Sunday at 1 p.m. against EV Zug. Both those games on IHF TV.
Just to clarify, is that 5 p.m. UK time or Swiss
5
time?
p.m. UK. Well, I'm taking this from the Belfast Giants website, so it says 5 p.m. I assume it's 5 p.m. UK time, I think, and 1 p.m. UK time for Sunday's game. And on that, boys, any other business? Short one today because we've had two great interviews. We've covered those two games. We'll be getting more in, obviously, next week to the fourth go of the Challenge Cup and the games against the Dundee Stars and the Five Flyers. Might even get our old friend of the show to come on next week and have a bit of a chat with us. But any other business for you boys?
Nope.
No? Is that it? Seriously? 43 minutes?
I'm tired.
Yeah, tired myself, mate.
To be very honest, it should be 43 minutes every week. Davey, back me up here.
Listen, you boys just like to talk. I just ask the questions. You know what I mean?
Ask less questions.
What?
Ask less questions. Easy.
Fair enough. I'll take that on board for future reference, boys. For future reference. Well, on that note, big thanks to Alexis Gravel and to Bo Hansen, to Max Mason, of course, and Taff for Wee Giants Corner. To you two boys, as always, at AVFTB on X or Twitter. You can get us on Facebook, Instagram, kingdomofthegiants.com, and all the usual sort of places that you find us. What else? Is there anything else you talk about? No, that's about it, boys.
Yeah. Bring some French. Bring some Swedish. What is Swedish? Swiss francs with you. It says so you can buy me a cup of tea.
Enjoy your trip, boys. A cup of tea. What is the Swiss? What would be the Swiss national drink? Tell you what, bet you whatever it is not cheap.
Melted
Toblerone. There you go. Yeah.
Whatever it is not cheap. But listen, boys, enjoy your trip. enjoy your trip to Switzerland, and I look forward to hearing all about it next week. And wherever you are this weekend, if you are making the trip over to Switzerland, we hope you enjoy your hockey. We'll catch you here next time on A View from the Bridge.